welcome to Unstuck with Charlie. My name is Charlie Arms. Why can't we all just get along? It's Christmas time, and there are presents, there are parties, there are holiday events. There's a lot of great food, big celebrations, but we also have what we call the family get-together. And for many, this is a great time, but sometimes there are family problems. So how do we deal with it? How should we process this from a faith perspective? Now, I wanted to talk about this because it's almost Christmas time, and you're about to get on the road, or you're about to host your family, and I thought this might be a little helpful, okay? First, would you do me a favor? Take a moment, just hit that like button below and subscribe to the channel. It will help me out a lot. Listen, add a comment down below. Even if you just say hi or Merry Christmas, it helps me with that mysterious YouTube algorithm, whatever that is. Okay, let's jump in. Family problems are nothing new. We live in a fallen world. That's what the Bible teaches us, that we live in a fallen world. The ones we should love the most, our families, often become the ones we fight with the most. But now, listen, the Bible doesn't gloss over sin. It records a number of family problems. It goes all the way back to Adam and Eve in the garden, where Adam starts blaming his wife about the fruit from the tree that they were eating from there in the garden. Sibling rivalry crops up just after this in the stories of Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, Joseph and his brothers. We read in the Bible about jealousy among wives, which is one of the negative consequences of polygamy. It is found in the stories of Hannah and Leah and Rachel and other places. Eli and Samuel dealt with wayward children. Jonathan was almost murdered by his father Saul. David was brokenhearted by his son Absalom's rebellion. Hosea, great prophet, experienced marital difficulties. Now, the common denominator in each of these cases is that the relationships were damaged by sin. The Bible has a lot to say about relationships, including family dynamics. The first institution God established for human interaction was a family. He created a wife for Adam and joined them in marriage. Referring to this event, Jesus in Matthew 19 later said, "What God has joined together, let no one separate." God's plan was for one man, one woman to remain married until one of them dies. And He desires to bless that union with children who are to be raised in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Most family problems happen when we rebel against God's design. Things like polygamy, adultery, divorce, they all cause problems because they are deviations from God's original plan. The Bible gives clear instructions about how families are to treat each other. Check this out. God's plan is that husbands would love their wives in the same way Christ loves the church. Wives are to respect their husbands. Children are to obey their parents. Now, how many family problems would be solved if husbands and wives and children simply followed these basic rules? 1 Timothy 5:8 says that families are to take care of their own. In Matthew 15, Jesus had harsh words for those who evaded their financial responsibilities to their aging parents by claiming they gave all the money to the temple. The key to harmony in families is not one that we want to apply naturally. Ephesians 5:21 says, "Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ." Submission is in direct opposition to the flesh's desire to rule and have its way. We'd rather defend our rights, champion our own causes, defend our own opinions. We like to assert our own agendas whenever possible. God's way, now listen to this real carefully, is to crucify our flesh, to submit to the needs and wishes of others whenever we can. Jesus is our model for this kind of submission to God's will. 1 Peter 2:23 says this, "When they hurled their insults at him, he didn't retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he trusted himself to the one who judges justly. Most family problems could be lessened if we followed the example, the instructions in Philippians 2, 3, and 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of others. When we adopt the spirit of humility and treat others as Jesus would treat them, we can resolve many of our family and relationship problems. So, family problems happen. What we need to do is be prepared, be on guard, be like Christ in our approach to our family. Now, you're not perfect, and neither are they. I want you to take a minute this Christmas before you go to see your family. If there's a little tension in the air, if there's a little struggle, if you start getting into this conversation about politics or whatever else you don't like, just take a step back, pray, breathe a deep breath, and just remember, hey, listen, we're not perfect people. You're not, they're not. But let's all try as best we can to apply God's word in our relationships, especially with our family. It's God's gift to you. It's God's blessing to you, and it's meant to be a blessing. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but let's try to work through this season with grace and love and mercy. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button below and subscribe on your way out. Have a blessed day. Merry Christmas, and let's move forward.